Hey everyone, this is John Paul here from Click Laboratory. I've got a new installment for you today to talk about something you may not have thought of before. So if you're like me, you've been in the digital marketing space for who knows how long. I've been in it for over 20 years now. But one of the common tools that I've always used is email nurturing. That's the idea of where you get a contact in and you send them an email, and you send them an email, and then you send them until they become a customer, and then you send them a new batch of emails. Well, it works. A lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it, but it works, and it works very, very well. So I wanted to introduce a different kind of idea for you, similar to email nurturing. And that's ad nurturing. The idea behind ad nurturing is basically the same as what you get in email nurturing. It's trying to tell a story in order to move somebody to want to take an action, to convert, to buy something, to visit your store, whatever it may be. So in advertising, in many cases, you're going after an audience that has no idea who you are. They've never heard of you, especially if you're one of a small brand. Now, if you're like Nike or Outback or something like that, of course, yeah, everybody knows who those brands are. But that's not most of us. Most of us have a very small sphere of influence. And so in order to help people remember who we are, come into our stores, buy our products, we have to build awareness. We have to build trust. We have to build our brand with people. We have to be able to pass the grunt test. And so what we need to do is use advertising. And most of us have done this. We've spent money on Facebook, we've spent money on Google, and we throw the ads out there to a targeted interest audience that we think might convert. And we tweak those ads, and we tweak those ads. And usually those ads tend to run for months at a time because, oh, hey, you know what? They're converting, so they must work. And they do, okay? But there is a better way. And here in our laboratory, we've kind of come up with the concept of ad nurturing. A lot of the big companies have lots of resources to do this stuff. But what I wanted to do is introduce it to you. And so the idea is pretty simple. When you're going after a new audience, new possible customers who possibly have never heard from you before, you don't want to just start out, hey, buy my stuff, because as we know, that pretty much doesn't work and people just ignore it and swipe through their feed. And you just get wasted money. So the difference here is you want to start out with something more soft, okay? You're trying to tell a story here about your brand in order to build trust. So you're kind of introducing them to that you understand whatever their problem is. So if you're selling shoes and nobody's ever heard of your brand, you kind of want to introduce your brand to them. Why the typical shoes don't work well, or what are the typical problems that people have with shoes. I don't know, I'm not a shoe salesman, but you get the idea. Is you want to start out with identifying with their problems so they identify with you, and so that they'll maybe watch your video. Maybe it's something entertaining that you want to put in front of them that might grab their attention and put your brand in front of them. Again, don't try and make the quick sale. Try and earn trust. Try and build your brand. And you maybe do that for a week. And then you move them to the next ad. And the next ad might talk about another smaller problem, or it might introduce a story, something that to continue to soften that up. And then you can do that for a third week, fourth week, fifth week, however long it takes. You kind of have to work that out. But the idea is that you don't have one static ad across all time that you're trying to put in front of somebody that they're just going to be like, hey, there's that ad again, I'm going to swipe past it. You're changing stuff up. You're trying to get them to pay attention to you, trying to get them to pay attention to what you have to say and make them aware of your brand, building trust with your brand through this idea of ad nurturing. You start out with something that attracts their attention, then you change it up and change it up and change it up. Now, if they convert at any point along that journey that they're taking, of course, you put something different in front of them that would be more appropriate to whenever they converted. That's nurturing. Email nurturing is the same way. You're constantly sending them a different message in order to try and get them to convert. The same is true here with ad nurturing. You're trying to put different ads in front of them that will get them to convert across a course period of time. And of course, you can keep tweaking that and get that narrowed down, and every single ad will have its conversion action. The earlier ads may be just to get them to look at some content. It may be watch a video, visit a blog post, or something along those lines. But every single one of these components will, of course, have the ultimate conversion of buy now or fill out my form so we can email nurture you. You always want to have those extra conversion actions in case somebody is ready to take that step, but it's not the focus. The focus is more relevant to whatever you're doing at that point in time with that particular ad that is relevant, most relevant to them. And so nurture them across the course of time, and you'll get more customers. And your ad spend, you're pretty much doing the same with your ad spend. You haven't really changed your ad spend. The idea here is you're going to end up getting more customers out of this. We're seeing typically about an 8.7 to 8.9 lift in return on ad spend on top of what you've already been, on top of what companies have already been doing. If you use this idea of ad nurturing, it simply works. It works better. It's proven to work in email nurturing, and now we're proving it to work in ad nurturing as well. So we wrote a really detailed article that is going to be posted here. You can go check it out, read more detail about it. If you've got questions, got ideas, man, I'd love to hear it. If you're testing out and been doing any of this stuff, I'd love to hear it. Let us know. Provide it in the comments. Send me an email message, whatever it takes. So check out these full details on the blog and let me know what you think. Till next time, thanks. I'm John Paul.